So that was episode 1 and 2 of season 5.
That episode was...
Okay, so that was...
That was very, very cool.
Holy crap, that was pretty good.
It wasn't awful.
This was a really interesting episode.
This season's definitely off to a good start, I guess.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
As gray and neutral as the Cutie marks.
That was pretty decent, I will say. I mean, I liked it. It was unique, weird.
First off, awesome, ponies are back. They're gonna be going on adventures, spreading the magic of friendship. Awesome news, awesome news. But here's an interesting thing. This is the first time that a villain just gets away. She escaped.
She didn't get to feel like Tyr at the Discord or Chrysalis. She just ran away, so I feel like she might come back. Which would be cool if she came back.
I hate Starlight Glimmer. I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like her, and I do not like the fact that she got away and no one chased her. She fucking ran into a dark cave. It's like, we'll never find her in there. It's like, we've heard numerous times from Twilight, illumination, using their horn to light up the surrounding area, is one of the most basic spells that a unicorn can learn. There's their light source. Go after her. I highly doubt she's just gonna come back and realize the error of her ways, like Twilight was saying there. Fuck that, no. She's not gonna just freaking be reformed the next time we see her. If we see her again. No freaking way. She's not even close to being reverted back to normal. Or, to being, a nice pony or whatever.
She didn't learn her lesson. She didn't get redeemed. She didn't be obliterated like Samba. Rest in peace. They gotta bring her back at some point, right? I mean, you can't just let the villain get away. That doesn't happen on this show. That hasn't happened before. The villain just escapes. I mean, sure, they saved the town, but villain got away.
So we don't really quite know her motives yet, but it's clear that Starlight is against the idea of difference in personality and talent, and prefers equality, even forced equality, over anything else. I think she's a good villain because her level of manipulation and tyranny just really adds to the villain part of her character.
She had that sort of Chrysalis kind of approach, planned it out from the beginning, put it into action, it did work.
She was effective, creepy, she definitely had mysterious air about her. She still has mysterious air about her considering she escaped. And of course by the time Insurrection gets out, heck, by the time this episode aired, by the time the trailers came out, there was people making comparisons to Amon and Kuvira and all that stuff.
She's so similar to Ammon from Legend of Korra. Ammon had a lot more charisma, but...
The introduction of the villain showing that she's actually really humble, but then you just see that evil grin halfway through or nearing the end. I think it was a great introduction of the villain, showing that she looks like every ordinary pony, but she's actually really evil.
I didn't think I would like Starlight Glimmer because we have too many of these unicorn characters. I thought that she was going to be sort of like another Sunset Shimmer, Starslim Glimmer, can you blame me? And Trixie like character, just another unicorn that's abusing her powers to do stuff. But I mean, I don't know, she wasn't reformed at the end of that. She could have a lot of potential of coming back and doing stuff. This whole scheming and planning that she did was actually, again, like I said, pretty messed up, but hey, if it works, it works.
She doesn't have this evil aura. She's nothing like King Sombra or Discord or Chrysalis, this big, giant, powerful person. No. What she has is smarts. She's a genius, basically. She came up with this plan all by herself, and it worked. Until Twilight and Friends came along. I am glad that there was no bullshit thing, kind of like, the whole love thing in Canterlot Wedding, which made me not like Canterlot Wedding as much as I did. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Canterlot Wedding, I just don't think it was all that.
Oh god, something's gotta happen with her. She's gotta come back at some point. Unless she's now just a wandering, power-crazy mayor in the mountains.
If you really think about it, she's actually one of the darker villains of this show. I mean, Chrysalis was evil, but at least she had loyal, straight-up minions and followers. This chick, it goes beyond brainwash because she kind of destroyed their lives, and that to me is a good villain. The kind that think they're justified in destroying people's lives. Shit, kind of like Xehanort. This chick is Xehanort. Man, fuck Xehanort.
Stealing everyone's cutie marks and not stealing her own, okay. But why was she doing it in the first place? The only thing I think we got was that because she was studying magic too, and she seen that people were also doing magic and they were better? I don't know, something like that. But I don't think we really got a point to why she was stealing the cutie marks, making everyone equal. We might have, but I just didn't see it.
How does that not constitute as being a sort of like Mary Sue kind of thing? How it's like a ridiculously overpowered ability? Literally. She could have just walked straight up to Celestia, Luna, Cadence, and Twilight, not even fairly establishing that they weren't enemies or anything like that, you know, just meeting as if they were just acquaintances or whatever, saying like she has a request specific for all the princesses. She just goes in there and then just takes the fucking cutie marks from her and just like, mine. Like, really?
How come all unicorn villains, well, actually, it makes sense that all unicorn villains are extremely magically inclined, but why did she even have that ability? Is that some Eastern unicorn spell like they talked about? Like, what's up with that?
The whole taking their cutie marks thing, I thought they played it fast and loose with that. They took away Dash's speed, so she should go slow, but everybody else should have been able to run just as fast. Being able to gallop at a regular pace has nothing to do with Twilight's talent. Her talent is magic, so her physical attributes should have been diminished. And she's still an alicorn. They took away her talent, but they didn't take away all of her power. Otherwise, if they took away all of her power, then basically how is this any different than Tyrek? How was Starlight Glimmer any different than Tyrek? She was taking away all of their magic, debilitating them. So how is that any different?
Where did she get her training? She said she had been training types of magic for years, but from who? And why? Like, seriously, like, they were at, like, the far, at least maybe eastern end of Equestria. Why? Why? So many questions. But I guess that's part of the excitement of the mystery, to see what's going to be happening this season. But I still don't understand why. Why did she do it?
I hope she shows up again at some point, because I kind of like her as a villain. I like villains where it's like, because I have a feeling she's got a sad backstory. I like those villains with those interesting backstories where it's like they're literally trying to destroy, dehumanize doesn't work in this scenario, so deponentize the world around her and kind of create her own image, because it's kind of like Xehanort for Kingdom Hearts. Xehanort's whole thing is like he wants light and darkness to be equal, right? Like no one fears darkness and light isn't super OP. That's a good thing, I think. It's good to have balance. The problem is that he's trying to bring about the universal Armageddon, whatever, to do it, so the worlds can start over again. But he would recreate in his image of darkness being dominant. So it's like, wow, you asshole. This chick, it's kind of like that.
Starlight Glimmer, is that her name? It's like, it sounds so similar to Sunset Shimmer. It's Starlight Glimmer, I don't know.
She kind of is like a Twilight gone bad, kind of like Sunset Shimmer, although she felt much more subtle than Sunset Shimmer, at least. I will give her that much props. Although when she was redeeming all that and her redemption, that was a little bit nicer done.
Sunset Shimmer is a synonym for Twilight Sparkle as a play off of it, which makes sense because she was like the dark mirror version of Twilight, sorta. She was the what if situation. She was Celestia's former student who had rejected the teachings of friendship and gone off and become bad. So that makes sense. But then what is this? Starlight Glimmer doesn't quite equate with with Sunset Shimmer, but they both are tangentially related to Twilight Sparkle. So why has she got the same name? Because she's spreading her teachings of friendship as well? Yeah, I guess that maybe that's why the name. But I think maybe, what if they're related in some way, distantly related? Because their names are similar and they've got a similar color scheme, so that's kind of cool.
The town was incredibly creepy at first. I mean, really creepy. It was just way off.
The creepiness of it was really difficult to get through sometimes, just because the mindless getting along and empty smiles hit my creep factor quite high.
The village was cool. The creepy eeriness was there. The smiles were fucking terrifying. The premise of the town was interesting. It was executed pretty well. You knew right away that something was wrong with the town, but it's not like they didn't try to make it subtle at all, because they didn't make it subtle.
But geez, so many creepy smiles and bedroom eyes from Starlight and
Oh yeah, there was a song. The song was kind of forgettable, honestly, like in the grand scheme of things. It wasn't a bad song. I liked the music. I always like the music in this. But I liked the music, but it didn't really stick out or stay with me too much, like, say, Hearts as Strong as Horses. It's like they tried Hearts as Horses, but they tried to make it fuller. They were going for bigger, but they kind of just made it fuller without it being bigger. Like, they were going for more layers, but Hearts as Strong as Horses had multiple layers already, you know what I mean? It's hard to say. I like the song, but it was just kind of forgettable.
The song too, I'm feeling really neutral about as well. It wasn't really extravagant or memorable, I'd have to say.
It kind of was okay, in my opinion at least. It wasn't anything great, but then again, when you think about the village and the way every pony was, I can kind of see why the song was like that, because the sort of tour in the village, that song represented how they were, so that's why it probably wasn't that, in many ways, great song, because everyone was so equal that nobody could have, like, bigger chance to sing, like, very high and mighty and all that, so the song is, for me, passable.
I believe what they were going for is war anthem, and they definitely did, like something that soldiers would march to. And considering the communism and Nazi parallels going on here, well, the song achieved what it was supposed to do. I wouldn't mind saying they were marching in part of the song. Of course, that's what they were going for. Wow, I didn't even remember that.
The animation is so fluent and it's unreal. It's unreal that the animators just get better every season. It consistently gets better through every season. Every episode, every season, there's always something new that they can bring, and this episode really shows that season 5 is definitely going to be great to not only listen, but especially to look at. It's going to be amazing.
Let's see who voiced who. Oh, never mind, it's Kelly Sheridan, but she did sound like Nicole Oliver for a second, and Double Diamond was voiced by Zex Marquise, and Double D voiced Party Favor. I thought I recognized that voice. Nice.
Starlight Glimmer is Kelly Sheridan. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right, but she did Sango from Inuyasha. She did Ukyo from Ranma 1/2. What's her face from Zoids? Hold on. I would like to say Lena, but I am probably wrong. Hold on a minute. Yeah, Lena from Zoids. Oh my god. It didn't really sound like it at first, but later at the end when she was all yelling at Twilight, yell, "Quiet!" Vein pulsing. It was there. It was pretty cool. That's great. Now we just need to try to find a way to get Brad Swale back into the saddle. No pun intended. And yeah, Party Favor was Sam Benson. That was pretty cool. Other seasons opened up with like this ancient evil coming back, trying to take over Equestria, but this time this was just something that was just, there, keeping it to itself, and eventually might have snowballed into something bigger and more formidable, against Equestria.
Not as epic as the season 4, season 2 two-parter, but they take it on a more personal level, I guess.
And that was pretty cool. It was new, and it's so laid back, yet it's like I liked it. That was really cool.
The characters have evolved into what they've evolved into. Twilight seemed pretty subdued in this episode as far as smart assery goes. A little bummed that Spike wasn't in the episode because of fucking course. Although he's besties with Big Mac, that's hilarious.
That sports joke for Spike, I'm not too sure about that. It's kind of stereotyping, basically, and I believe they only did one other time in the Ticketmaster. What with Spike pretending that he didn't want to go to the gala, and basically doing that whole girly things are icky thing that doesn't actually do too often, so I kind of think that's out of character for him, and it's something kind of weird for Friendship is Magic to do, because they have all of these strong female characters, so to kind of designate a character to be like, he's the male and he only likes these male manly things, it just seems weird.
Of course, Spike only had like one scene saying, "Oh, we're gonna trade cards and whatever," but typical boy stuff. Come on, I like trading cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the past. Right now, I don't even collect cards.
And off the top of my head, it doesn't sound like something that has happened often, so it just seems even weirder.
Rarity once again has some pretty funny lines. Applejack and Rainbow Dash shouldn't really contribute too much.
It seems like a lot of Rainbow Dash's dialogue was in the tone of speaking for the audience, saying things that viewers who've seen season premieres from other seasons will be thinking like, where's the action action and things like that. I really hope they don't do that often, because anyone who's seen Mr. Enter's videos may know, and I agree with, being meta about the episode's flaws and bad points and things like that doesn't actually make those negative points okay.
Of course, Fluttershy was her usual self, but at least it served her purpose in the plot.
I love that they gave Fluttershy a little spotlight, but they didn't make it about her. I kind of like that because it's their way of pushing her in the sense that, like, okay, remember guys, Fluttershy is still cool.
And it was good to see that Pinkie Pie was originally the one who was suspicious instead of being her bubbly self, instead of making her kind of stupid like the episode of the season 4 starter, Princess Twilight Sparkle, in which Pinkie Pie was kind of dumb. In this one, thank you for not making her dumb, except for certain scenes to make her like funny. So thank you. I'm glad that this season starter did not completely focus with Twilight Sparkle. In the other premieres and season finales, they always focus on Twilight. Purely on Twilight, because yes, she is the main character. We all know that it's her journey, but we've already seen her journey. We've gone through it. It's always been her journey. And as the seasons passed and I began to analyze the episodes, I noticed it's all about Twilight. Oh, it's Twilight's Dilemma, whatever. If you've seen either Josh Scorcher or Silver Quill's videos about the season premieres and the season finales, you'd notice that there's, of course, the cliche of Twilight is troubled by her purpose and whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now this time, it involved sort of all of them, all of the main six, instead of just Twilight. And yes, at the end, when the ponies who recovered their key marks are like, no, you taught us, and I was like, it's not just Twilight, it was the rest of them too, come on. But I can't be angry with that because it sort of showed that yes, it was thanks to all of them, not just Twilight. And I really hoped they do go this route, not just focusing on Twilight, because Twilight's journey is already over. She is continuing her journey, but it's not just with her, it's with all of them, with Berry, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, all of them.
I pretty much like this episode, especially how laid back it was, and I think the writers were pretty much making fun of those bronies who think this is gonna be just as epic as season 4's finale. We're gonna kick so much ass, and it's just an ordinary pony. And in the end, the main cast didn't exactly save the day. It was actually the other pony characters.
I like that the main six kind of took a back seat near the end, because it's bad that What's-Her-Face took their cutie marks and were sapping them of their life, essentially. But the people in those village, I mean, it was really their fight. They were the ones that deserved to, if not do her in, then, exact revenge. So I actually liked that. That was really fitting.
That main 16, in a way, saved the day. They just gave the other ponies a reason to question Starlight's philosophy and all that, and pretty much try to see things from a different perspective, I suppose. But I still love the idea that these secondary characters were actually the ones, in a way, saving the day in the end, which was a good fresh of air, and I really hope to see those more. At least those 4, because they kind of look like they would become sort of another main 6 or whatever. Although, now I want to see some sort of crossover picture, comic, or fanfic with them and the background 6, just for the heck of it. I don't know why.
The other 4 named characters that they introduced, they interest me. I wouldn't mind knowing more about them. I hope they come back. There's some comparisons you can draw from them in regards to the main 6. The flying one, she's kind of like Rainbow Dash. Double Diamond, since he skis, he might be a little bit like Rainbow Dash too. Sugar Belle, she's a baker, so there's a comparison to Pinkie Pie. And the 4th one, I don't actually remember the 4th one. Okay, they're not all perfect, but I would definitely like to know more about them.
Some of the new ponies they introduced were kind of cool. I really like the balloon pony guy. He was awesome. Oh, those binoculars. That didn't make any sense, but who cares? That was hilarious.
The fucking pony with the damn balloons in order to make a bridge and shit, that's fucking bizarre. He made the fucking bridge out of balloons, which I don't know how he had enough balloons to do that. And then he also made fucking binoculars. Huh? I don't think my mind's gonna be able to comprehend how he did that. That's more surprising. Making effective binoculars out of balloons is more surprising to me than making a bridge out of balloons that you can just simply bounce on in order to get across.
I have to say that Dark Blue Pegasi was so far my favorite character. For some reason, she just got more stuck in my head for some reason. Maybe it's because of her cutie mark.
And if this is actually leading up to a spin-off like it seemed, I wouldn't mind. If they have another couple of episodes, I wouldn't mind. I think as middle ground as I'm being right now, they were the strongest part of the episode for me, and I'd like to see more from them.
I think what this episode is showing is what could happen in the future. It's showing that the MLP staff know that it's not always going to be the main six. Yeah, I know, there's still the trio of harmony, there's still the elements of harmony, but I think without that, if they had something like the Cutie marks had some sort of special power which blasted the villain, I don't think this episode would have got as much praise for it as I'm giving it now. There are other heroes in these background ponies, which is why I'm looking forward to the 100th episode when it's just background ponies. You know, they even confirmed it, and I can't wait for that because no main six. So how are they going to approach that? The moral of the episode is phenomenal. The fact that they say that you don't need someone else to show you what's fun because the fun is in front of you. You make your own fun. You make your own destiny. I think that really, really stands out, especially for kids, just for people in general.
The moral of the story was a rather interesting one because in these episodes you can, in a way, kind of also get the idea of Starlight and her philosophy about the whole thing. So this is kind of a two-way thing and very nicely done that the kids can actually think about this kind of thing when they grow up, and when they are older they might understand a little bit more what this episode was getting into. It was really nice moral here, although I don't think there wasn't much of a moral, but there was a good conflict in my opinion in some way with the philosophy.
Just for people in general, say that you don't need to follow other people, you don't need to listen to what they say. Go down your own path. Don't give up something that makes you you. If it makes you who you are, don't change that. Keep yourself as yourself.
Before this season, I wondered what the heck could they do now with Princess Twilight? And I get it now. The magic of the castle, the map, it's going to send them to different parts of Equestria. Oh my god! I so called this! I so called this! When I was talking with my friends about like what was going to happen in season 5, I totally said like they had done everything they could in Ponyville when it came to like life stories in Ponyville and Canterlot. I said this would be a perfect opportunity to send them out across Equestria to all sorts of... I just freaking called it! Woo! But it kind of hurts the image of Equestria being the ultimate land of harmony. Shows that it is not perfect. Oh, damn, I'm going to love this show more and more!
The main six are going to be going around the world spreading their message of friendship. That's their job now with the map. So now maybe they've got competition. Starlight Glimmer is going to be going around spreading her own twisted version of friendship around the world. And they're going to maybe have to be competing. The main six are going to have to help out people that Starlight has corrupted or hurt or in some way. So that's kind of a cool premise, is that they've got a villain now that they're on the tail of, that they're trying to stop and catch simultaneously while they're trying to spread their friendship message. So that's kind of a cool thing.
What better opposition than someone who seems to get the concept of friendship, but at the same time she also wants to destroy everything what it's about but uphold it. You know, a twisted villain like that. That's cool.
Last season we had the whole keys, the rainbow powers and everything, but I feel like this is... I really don't know what's gonna happen this season. I feel like, I was like, oh, keys, what do they mean? What are the keys? What's in the box? What's in the box? But now this season, it's like, okay, we're gonna be going all around Equestria, world building, all the world building. And that's gonna be like, oh, yes.
And 8 magical artifacts? I think those are going to come into play later. The map's going to send them all over the Equestria. Maybe even beyond. Oh wait, no, it's only said like friendship across Equestria. So... maybe just in Equestria. But either way, this is going to be adventure season. This is going to be a season filled with adventure stories. Sure, they can maybe throw in some slice of life stuff. Oh my god, this is going to be one epic season. I have a feeling. This
episode doesn't seem like it's going to have an overarching theme. I mean, I guess they're going to, at certain episodes, they're all going to look on the map and go to places. Hopefully they do that. But I thought, honestly, for a second there, she was going to escape with their cutie marks. The whole arc of the season was just going to try to get him back. That would have been awesome, I think. There's a lot of potential there for a lot of cool things.
Compared to other season premieres, can we just talk about how freaking weird that pair of episodes was with that cult? Because it's still a kid's show. Even their track record, even if this was a brand new thing, its problems are always either friendship problems, or for like the big set pieces, you've got some big monster or some big evil conquering villain who wants to take over the world or destroy the world. Discord, Sombra, Tyrek, etc. But this was more insidious. This was a cult. This was, you have to deal with totalitarian regimes, dystopias, and cults in a kids show. And they were pretty graphic with it. I mean, they didn't show gore or anything, but they had a militaristic marching song where they were goose-stepping in lockstep, spouting their rhetoric, like, give up your identity, conform, become identical, and you will attain enlightenment and happiness and stuff. And they had a re-education cell. They locked the main six up in a jail cell and blasted propaganda at them. That's nuts.
It got really deep, especially with the whole cutie marks bring nothing but pain and stuff like that. It was actually kind of nihilistic for the world, because part of the show and world's whole premises is like, who are you? And who are you? What is your cutie mark and what does it do? It was really dark and kind of messed up for the show, because it's like, that's the kind of thing that a guy like me would write a metal song about. Or that's something from a 9 Inch Nail. Actually, it sounds like some of that shit was taken from the Downward Spiral. Oh, I would love it if the Hasbro's guys listen to 9 Inch Nails.
I was kind of right. It was like Harrison Bergeron, where the society had forced everyone to be equal by bringing everyone down.
And I was right about the brands.
Yeah, she was right about the brands. Except she was wrong about the device being used for.
Shut up! I did say they're branded. That's all I said.
I like the idea of equality amongst ponies and cutie marks not, I don't want to say be defining factors, but like be like a social class where it's like, oh, my cutie mark is a diamond pearl jade necklace, while your cutie mark is a plow. On your knees, pheasant, you know, shit like that. That's cool. I like that. What I don't like is the total indoctrination and how she's assuming direct control, the brainwashing, because who knows how long that she kept those people there.
This freaking girl was indoctrinating others into trying to be the same and shit. Evidently she had never heard of the Isn't It Great to Be Different song, because, yeah, she probably would have been doing this. Just saying. I said it before during their actual reaction. It's the fact that you are unique and such that actually makes life worth living. If you guys are exactly the same in every single way, it's boring as shit. There was an episode of Fairly Odd Parents in which everyone was the exact same, and it was boring there. Everyone was the exact same. And then when Timmy Turner came in there, and he was almost the exact same too, but he had that little pink hat on him still, he became a social outcast, and everybody wanted to make him one of them. It's like, do you really want to live that kind of life? I don't think so. It's just a weird topic that this episode is about, really, but I don't know.
The whole equalism plot point, it's interesting. Wow, I'm sounding like Pinky already. That's all I've got. It's interesting. It's kind of weird, but not completely out of place. They portray it in a way that, of course, to all of us who know better, adults, older fans, will get the communism comparisons right away, but kids still be appropriately creeped out, but not overboard as, say, watching Schindler's List in school or something like that.
Just the subject matter is, whoa, really messed up. It's subject of equality and brainwashing the public, and I feel like I just can't go into these subject matters because I honestly don't know that well about it, but you know, fascists, communists, Nazis, suburban life, organized religions, blah, blah. It just feels like a lot of it was there if you look for it, but I think any kid can watch it and just be like, yeah, that's wrong. I'm not the expert on that shit, so, you know, whatever. But I got what I wanted out of it, and it was really cool for the show to go in there and just sort of touch on that. It's something new and different, and, you know, good job, guys. Really good job. That idea of equality, that idea of making everybody the same, you know, making everybody good, reforming everybody. It's kind of like on the fence of what I've been saying about a certain character, about, you know, a certain thing that really just doesn't make sense to me, that just seems wrong in the grand scheme of all the natures. I'm just saying, making everything equal and good and the same is, well, not good. Just saying. So I'm glad that this episode did that.
The ideologies of the place, though, it really kind of made me, I didn't show it, but it kind of made me think a bit. In school, I wasn't really anything too special. I was kind of just the eccentric, nerdy, fat guy that had some crazy looking hair. And I saw all the people around me, you know, everyone in school, I don't want to go into cliches because where I am, there's no clear jock or stoner or nerd or anything like that. They're all really intermixed, at least where I am. Not racially. There's a shitload of white people here. Well, I mean, fair amount of Mexicans too, but that's because Fresno and Bakersfield are only like 3 hours away. And you know, that was my life for a lot of school, being alone, ostracized, seclusion and all that. And it's a really interesting thing when you live like that. And it's weird to say this, but I feel you learn more as the outsider looking in than you do when you're inside. Because when you're inside, the things you want the most, you know, social circles and all that, you really take everything at face value, not giving it too much thought, but kind of thinking about it later maybe. But at the same time, you're easily dupable, you know what I mean? Like, not that you're easily fooled, but you can get tricked and used. When you're the outside looking in, it really helps see past the bullshit. And it's really easy, especially after you've done a lot, to just take apart aspects of life piece by piece, little things like about people you don't even know, about game developers or about celebrities. And you see it all the time on the internet, these cynical little assholes that just pick and prod and grip and tear away at the metaphorical flesh of these people. And I'm like that sometimes too. Sometimes I'm confrontational to people kind of like Twilight and Rainbow Dash and even Rarity. Kind of all the main 6 really, and there's really no reason for me to be. You know, it's kind of like why are you so happy, or why do you get to be happy? What makes you special? Oh, you know, you do sports. Oh, great, yippity for you. But the whole nihilistic view they were kind of going for with that village, I understand it because I can relate, because being on my own as long as I have, it's really easy to pick apart the world we live in and see all the bullshit that's there. And sometimes if you can't, then after you just pick away and there's nothing there but just the innards and bones there, you find yourself putting bullshit there. And with that being said, I can understand what she was coming from, the bad guy in this, because like, I'm going to guess for now that she had a lonely childhood or something and she was rejected. And maybe she got a cutie mark at a later age. And then when she got it, maybe it wasn't well received amongst her peers and maybe even her family. Although I'm probably just reading too deep into this kid's show like everyone. But it's when you want something so bad and you get it and then the whole world just kind of laughs at you for it. I can understand where she's coming from, because when you're alone and you really take the time to look at everything, you can really walk away hating things. Because she clearly wants friendship and she understands the bare bones of friendship. She likes the idea of friendship, but she doesn't like the execution of friendship. And I believe that she did truly want equality for everybody. The problem is that she went about it in a really fucked up way, which isn't good. And honestly, I hope they bash her brains in. But like I said, I can understand where she's coming from, because her and the village's outlook on life, it's really easy to relate to if you were never, say, the cream of the crop or every school's first pick to be the golden boy, you know. So I can understand what she means about hating those that are special, or hating the special talents that people share, because sometimes I find myself doing something very similar.
You know, actually, I wasn't really very hyped for this season. I haven't been keeping up with all the news and everything. Just sometimes I don't like to be spoiled on everything lately. And I guess I just want to let the episode speak for itself. And this one doesn't really hype me up for whatever's going to be happening with the rest of the season. And that's all I have to say, I guess. And yeah, this is really hard for me to come up with something to say, because frankly I'm normally as middle ground thinking as Pinkie Pie was earlier. And with the things of this episode isn't giving me much of a reason to think otherwise. I mean, like I said, I do want to see the 4 characters that they introduced. I would like to see Starlight Shimmer show up later. I would like to see where they go with that, but I'm not really excited for this season. I wasn't really excited before seeing this episode for various reasons, and this didn't really hype me up either. I definitely don't intend to stop watching the show or anything extreme like that, but all I can say is that I am looking forward to next week's episode, and I hope it's better than this one.
My brother just sent me a picture of a photoshopped, clearly, Trent Reznor head over Seth Green hugging Pinkie Pie, and he said, "You better up your game because your boy's making a run for your fandom." I like this episode. I really did. I guess I just ended up walking away. I ended up walking away from it thinking about a few more things than I thought I would. I would give the episode about an 8 or 9, maybe. It was really good. Characters, animation. Yeah, the only thing it gets knocked down for is the forgettable song and just little nuances that kind of bug me, but I don't think I talked about. But, let's just say 8 or 9.
It was pretty funny, especially with the fucking faces that Pinkie was making when she was, like, being all skeptical about everything and all. But, I don't know. Like, it's a hit and a miss for me because, like, it was still cool. It was like they were good episodes, but it was on a topic that I wasn't, a big fan of. And the fucking villain, I will say this: they did a damn good job making a villain that I did not like. I did not like her at all. Freaking weird episode, yes, for a start. Definitely a unique opener for the seasons, to be honest. I can't say it was the best, but it wasn't bad. Just definitely different. But I will say that across the season openers and stuff, I think I would have to go ahead and say that this one had the best cliffhanger for when the first episode ended. That was a freaking brutal way to end the episode.
It was a pretty good episode. Good season 5 beginner. But, I mean, we waited almost a year for that. I kind of wish there was a little bit more fighting, explosion, something cool, something amazing. But you got what you get. I give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, didn't like it, didn't hate it. It was pretty good. Still think the Magic Treehouse thing, because I don't know. It just feels like a Magic Treehouse because they're going on these adventures now through this map. And, like the Magic Treehouse with these books, they go on these adventures. Something like that. Books, map, same thing. And I feel like it's something like that.
Overall, it was alright. Again, it didn't really have that epic scale over things. They decided to go for a little smaller. I guess it's a nice change of pace. A few problems here and there, but overall, I guess it's alright. Though, how you start the season, it's not that bad.
I liked it. What did you think? Did you like it?
Pretty good for coming back after a little while.
10 months is a little while.
I've been watching Ninjago, gosh.
Oh gosh. I can't think of anything else to say about it.
I like cheese. Double Diamond is hot. That's all I'm gonna say. Yes, I just called 20 hot. Don't judge me. You think Fluttershy's cute?
That's fair enough.
I guess I'm gonna give this episode about an 8, 8.5. I'll give it. I like the story behind it. I like the plot. I like the fact that apparently none of the ponies really bought into it while buying into it. They just thought it was a good idea. They kind of went along with it, but then once they realized that they were being lied to and being led, did what they needed to do. And Fluttershy early on, I kind of had a little issue with her kind of going along as easily as she did. And I love how Pinkie Pie was so suspicious. It was just so in character with her. She's actually, in my opinion, the one who really led this episode was the strongest character. I wonder if we're going to see more strong Pinkie Pie in season 5. Kind of makes me wonder.
Oh my god, my brain is just in such a mush right now. I can't talk right. Oh my god. Okay, my first ever rating for season 5, the Cutie map. I give the Cutie map part 1 and part 2 a collective 8.5 out of 10. It just, I know I just gushed a bit over it, but it just didn't feel complete. Like, it felt a bit tame in comparison to the earlier season premieres. It opens a lot of opportunity. It does. Oh, I cannot wait to see what else they will pull out of their magical hat when it comes to this season. Oh my god, I'm really excited.
The episode as a whole was a little bit ho-hum. The second one in particular kind of dragged a little bit toward the start, where they got to the action about a bit toward the end. That was alright, I guess. Although it was all like these newbies. I wonder if we're going to see more of them, because they kind of built them up a little bit.
It was a lot of fun. Now I'm very looking forward to this season. It seems we're going to have a lot of much mystery, as I heard also there's going to be some more world building and maybe even lore building. Since we're at least going to get Griffin Kingdom, which will be freaking awesome. Although I want to see more of dragons. And not the stupid douchey ones from Dragon Quest, but the actual big dragons. In some way. I want to see more dragons. Just make it happen somehow.
Despite everything I just said, and everything I did say just came from the heart, no one cool. None of that still justifies Diamond Tiara being a massive cunt. Thank you, goodbye, and I'll see you guys for episode 3.
So yeah, I mean, I really don't have much to say about it other than this episode was a very good start and just very nice themes, nice characters, nice new animation and character designs, like I said, with the hair. I really don't know what else to say. I'm just glad that the season is finally out. New episodes are coming in and we haven't seen one in a while, but I mean, honestly, I wasn't trying to know too much ahead of time of what was going to happen in this episode, and I guess I'm glad I did because this was really, really fun. It wasn't big over the top like we had in past season starters, but that I don't see that as a negative for me. This was very good.
With that map, we're gonna see more locations. I really do hope they work on more mature stories. It's a long shot, but come on. We got the episode in which they talked about, well, sort of talked about disabilities with Scootaloo. Come on, that was a really strong message, and I really, really liked it. A lot of us did. All the Brony Senpai sisters did. Now in season 5, we already jumped that milestone in which it's not just a kids show. It's a legit good show with its weak points. Come on, I'm not gonna forgive the writers for making Spy Catcher Circus. Come on, no one's gonna forgive them for that. But it still has its strong points, like what I just mentioned about the Scootaloo episode. And I really, really do hope that we get to see more about the characters that we've been following throughout 4 seasons and 2 movies. We get to see more of them instead of just going by the same thing. We know that Applejack is related to family, along with a bit of sisterhood. Rarity is about sisterhood, but also about her career. Fluttershy, shyness and being timid. Rainbow Dash, it's about her pride, but she already passed through that phase of her life in which she's not that prideful as much with the Wonderworld Academy episode. Pinkie Pie is always about parties, but come on, go back to what a lot of us Pinkie Pie fans want, in which she's not just, oh, I'm party, let's go crazy, You treated her a little bit more with respect with the Party 1 episode, in which that's the episode in which I identified with her. In which, yes, we're afraid of losing people that we consider friends, and we don't want to be overbearing. That's how I identified with Pinkie Pie in that episode. That's why I really like her, because, yes, she is very joyful, but at the same time, she does have her weaknesses. She's scared that she might lose what she likes and lose her friends because of that. I really hope that the writers go beyond what we expect them to do. I really hope they jump over those barriers that Hasbro has put in front of them. And I really hope that we get to see more, just like all of us want. We all want to see more about these characters that we've been following, that we even grew to like a lot, we grew to care about. Just like with the Harry Potter fans or the Legend of Zelda fans, we love those franchises because of the characters and their stories, and we want to see more about them. So with that said, come at me, season 5.
So yeah, I really don't have much to say other than a new season of My Little Pony, new episodes of Reactions Are Magic whenever we decide to release them out. So thank you all, and let's all have fun and enjoy the ride. See you next time.
That's it for this episode. I mean, it was amazing, it was great, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. So see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. Bye.
I'm so glad Ponies is back. Can't wait to see what happens the rest of the season. So, yeah. This has been Mungo Comics. And we'll be seeing you guys for the rest of Season 5 whenever the heck these things air, because we're still airing Season 4. I don't even know when these are going up. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed our reactions, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for enjoying and watching this, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. So don't forget to like, comment, and be equal with us. And like us equally, and comment equally.
So, until next time, stay tuned. Wait, that's my catchphrase for my own videos. Whatever.
Season 5, stay here. I'm going to be here. Check out Reactions Are Magic. I'm going to be doing editing on a lot of those episodes now. So hopefully those will be out in a more timely fashion. I'm sorry, Gigi, I love you, but you're slow. See ya!
Starlight Glimmer's voice actor is Kelly Sheridan. Now, where is it I know her from?